everyone. This is K. Secretary from D section. Today my topic is in how many ways can we specify the CSS style for the HTML element. Uh, cas- Cascading style sheets is a markup language responsible for how our web pages will look like. It controls the color, fonts, and layouts of our website elements. These style sheets language allow also allows you to add effects or animations to our websites. Uh, you can use it to display some CSS animations like click button effects, spinners or loaders, and animated backgrounds. The main difference between inline CSS and external CSS is that in inline CSS is a processed faster, as it only requires a browser to download one file, while using external CSS will require downloading HTML and CSS files separately. The three types of CSS styles are inline, external, and internal. Internal CSS. Internal or embedded CSS requires you to add style in the style tag in the head tag section for your HTML document. This CSS style is an effective method of styling a single page. However, using these style for multiple pages is time consuming, as you need to put CSS rules on every page of your website. Here you can use internal CSS. Open your HTML page and locate opening tag. Put the following code right after head tag. Add CSS rules on a new line. Here an example. Here an example. Here an example. Body background color blue. H1 color red. Padding 60 pixel. Type the closing tag. Style. Your HTML file look like this. Doc type HTML tag, head tag open, style tag open, body. Inside the body you have background color as blue and H1 color red, padding 60 pixel, style tag closed, uh, and head tag also closed, and there open the body tag. uh, host Hostinger tutorials, and this is our paragraph. We can write paragraph inside these p tags, and then we then close the body tag and also the HTML tag. Advantages. Advantages of internal CSS. You can use class and add selectors in this style sheet. Here are an example. Class property 1 value 1, property 2 value 2, property 3 value 3, and ID property 1 value 1, property 2 value 2, property 3 value 3. Since you all only add the code within the same HTML file, you don't need to upload multiple files. Disadvantages of internal CSS. Adding the code to HTML document can increase the page size and loading time. External CSS. With external CSS, you will link your web page to an external .css file, which can be created by any text editor in your device. This CSS type is a more efficient method, especially for styling a large websites. By editing one .css file, you can change your entire site at once. For example, follow these steps to use external CSS. Create a new .css file with text editor. With the text editor, create a new .css file with the text editor and add the style rules. For example, dot xleft column, float left width 33, background 80, it is a color, and dot x middle column, float left width 34, background EFF 2DF. In the head section of your HTML sheet, add a reference to your external .css file right after title tag. Link rel style sheet type text css href style.css. Advantage of external css: since the css code is an separate document, your HTML files will have a cleaner structure and are smaller in size. You can use the same .css file for multiple pages. Disadvantage of external css: your page may not be correctly rendered correctly until the external css dot load is loaded. uh, Uploading or linking to multiple css files can increase your site's download time. Inline css is used to style a specific HTML element. For this css style, you will only need to add the style attribute to each HTML tag without using selectors. This CSS type is not really recommended as each HTML tag need to be styled individually. Managing your website may become too hard if you only use inline CSS. However, inline CSS in HTML can be useful in some situations. For example, in a case where you don't uh, access to CSS files or need to apply styles for a single element only. Let's look. Take a look at an example. Here we add an inline CSS to P and H1 tags. Uh, Here's HTML file. HTML doctor HTML body style, background color is black. H1 style equals to color white, padding 30 pixel. Hostinger tutorials. P type color white, something useful here dot is P tag, body HTML. Advantage of inline CSS: you can easily and quickly insert CSS rules to an HTML page. That's why this method is useful for testing or previewing the changes and performing quick fixes to your website. You don't need to create and upload a separate document as an external style. Disadvantage of inline CSS: adding CSS rules to every HTML is time consuming and make your HTML structure messy. Uh, Styling multiple elements can affect your page size and download time. Conclusion: in this tutorial, you have learned that difference between the three types of CSS. They are internal, external, and inline. Here the recap. Nothing but internal or embedded. Add style tag in the head tag. Use of HTML document. External. Link the HTML sheet to separate .css file. Inline. Apply CSS rules for specifying elements. Thank you.